I'm over 1500 days into my hardcore world, but I still find myself running out of a large variety of materials while I'm working on projects. So to fix that, I'm going to build 15 automatic farms so that I can have all of these basic materials whenever I need them. The way I want to do this is by starting off by building all of the super easy farms, and then as the video progresses, the farms are going to get harder and harder. But with that said, the first 3 farms I want to make is a cactus, sugarcane and bamboo farm. And for these first 3 farms, the only materials I'm going to really need is some observers, hoppers and pistons. So first I'll get some cobblestone, some redstone, some wood and some quartz. And now I've got all these materials I'm going to need to build my first 3 farms. Here for the redstone, I actually ended up mining a bunch of the ores I got in my last video when I mined for a full diamond beacon as well. So if you're wondering how I was able to get so much, that is how. The reason I built all 3 of these buildings together is because I want to put all 3 of them around this area here, so that I can start to bring my town down this way to hopefully connect it to this area here where the village was, where I can continue to spread my town. But before I could build any of the buildings that the farms are going to be in, I went into a separate creative world to plan them. And now that I've planned all of these buildings, I need to collect all of the materials, except it will not be that hard because once again they're going to be built out of all of the materials that my town is already built out of, such as birch, deep slate and dark oak wood, which means that I've pretty much got everything already. So now I'm going to get started on the sugarcane and bamboo building. And here it is. Now you probably notice it's only an outline for the moment, but I will add the roof and the walls in eventually, except the reason I haven't done it yet is because it will be easier to build the bamboo and sugarcane farms while there is no roofs or wall on it, because it just gives me more space to work. But when I finish building the farms, I will add them straight on top. So now let's do exactly that. And here it is. So here I decided to add these few little things on the roof there because before it was pretty empty, and you might actually recognize that from what I did with my storage house over here, but it's obviously on a bigger scale so it can fit the farms inside of it. And as for the collection system, if you go down this ladder here, I've got a bunch of chests here so it hopefully never fills up. And in these chests I've just got all of it coming in. But now that I've got the bamboo and sugarcane farm ticked off, the next one I want to build is the cactus one. And I actually want to build it about here. And I want it to be coming half off of the cliff and half on this lower bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a block here and I'm going to build these pillars up a decent amount of blocks. And now I've got this outline in, I'm actually going to use stone brick walls for the walls. And for this roof, I want to make it sort of 4-way. And what I mean by that is I want to have the same part of the roof going out to all of these different sides. And there it is, and it is looking good, except it's still hollow down there and in this area up here. So what I'm going to do to fix that is I'm going to fill it up with some deep slate. And now the last thing I need for the roof is some gold, because I want to fill those other empty spaces up with it. But after a lot of checking, it turns out I don't have enough gold, so I'll just use some iron instead. And now that the iron is in, I just want to add in some stairs here in this sort of pattern, just to add a bit more texture to it. And now the last thing I need to do before the building itself is going to be done is add this nice pattern in here. And I'm going to add some lime glass panes in here so that you can see into the farm itself, and also to show that it is a cactus farm. And with that, the building itself is done, which means I can get started on the farm on the inside. But for the farm to work, I'm going to need some cactuses, and embarrassingly, I don't have any. And finally, I have found a desert. But now I've got everything I'm going to need, so I can head back. And now that I'm here back at the building with all of my sand and cactus, it is time to place all of it in. And there we go, the cactus farm is now done with all of those cactuses on the inside growing. And so far I haven't gotten any cactuses, except they will start to come in. And with that, I'm 20% through the farms I want to build in this video, so now let's move on to the next one. And that next farm is going to be a flower farm. So what I want to do is have a few little areas here that flowers can go in. So here I'm going to have one on this side going sort of like a semicircle. And as this one finishes here, I want to start another one and have that coming around as well. And I think this is pretty good. I probably notice that this one is a lot smaller, except the reason for that is because when I build this terrain going down here more, I want to have it going downhill as well so that it can add a bit of texture. And now I'm going to fill them up with a bunch of these tall flowers like I have done up here with these roses. And now I've also added in this small hut in the middle of the flower field, which is how I'm going to be able to access the flower farm itself. So now if I go through here, we have got our flower farm. Except I realized that just after I finish building this, that I'm only going to be able to get these two types of flowers because of the biome that we're in. And if I was lazy, I would say that I'd built the farm and I would just tick it off and move on. Except I really am going to need these flowers in the future, so it looks like I'm going to need to build it all again. And for the second time the flower farm is done, except this time if I turn it on we should hopefully be getting a bunch of different flowers, and yes, we are. Amazing. But now that I've built the flower farm, the next farm I want to build is a cow farm. You probably notice I'm using cookies for my food source, which isn't exactly the best, so I want to replace it with some steak. And I was thinking about what the building should look like that I want to build it in, and then I remembered that I have got a barn I built a few videos ago, so I think it'd be easier if I just put it in here. But obviously all of my pets are taking up a bunch of space, so I think I'm going to build it down below. And now if I go below my barn, I've got all of these cows here in these pens. So the reason that they are all together is because I need to breed these cows a bunch so that there's enough in each of the little areas, and then I'll close them off, and then I will have a working cow farm. But while all of those cows are being bred up, let's move on to the next few farms, and that is going to be a carrot, potato, and wheat farm. And if you didn't know, I used to have a carrot and potato farm right here, I think, except I destroyed it when I was building this area of my town because it ended up breaking. And the only thing I really need to build it is some villages, but wait, I've only got 2 villages in here, but that's no problem because if I come over to my villager breeder here and go down here, we have got a decent amount of villagers, you know, just a few. So if I place this hopper here, then we should start getting villagers dispensed into the villager trading hall, and yep, there they go. And now we have got all of these villagers up here. We can get started on building the area for them. But before we do that, I want to show you the progress I have. Oh no. Well, that's not good. And I'm also completely out of totems, so I'm going to have to try and survive without one for the next little bit. But what I was trying to show you is that I've made this nice pond here surrounded by rocks going down here, and I've also continued this flower field here while extending all of the land down here so that it looks nice and natural. But because I just lost my last totem, I think I'm going to come back to these 3 farms later, and now I'm going to build a raid farm. Before you get excited, I'm not going to be building the super big one that uses a bunch of redstone, but instead I'm going to be building the one that is just a little hole in the ground. And I believe you want to build it near a pillager outpost, which I believe I've got the coordinates of one of them. Oh yes, I do, except it's pretty far away. But luckily for me, this farm pretty much uses 0 materials, so I'll be able to build it nice and easily. And here it is. So I think that the best place to build the farm is going to be just over the lake here, so that I don't have any pillagers spawning near it, but it's not too far to go if I need to. Also, I brought the beacon because without a turn off undying, this could get pretty deadly. But now that it's daytime, I can build a raid farm, so... And there we go, that is the raid farm fully completed. And if I come down here, you see I've got this bubble elevator that is very easy to run in. If you know why I've done it like this, then you know. Except down here we've also got 6 double chests here, and here is where I'm going to actually be killing the pillagers. So now is the moment of truth, and we're going to try and actually do a raid. I think they should have been coming down by now. What's happening? Oh, as soon as I say that, one comes down. And now we are on to wave 4, which I believe there can be an evoker on. Oh, it is. Okay, I killed them fast. And yes, oh my god, it feels so good to have a totem again. But while I'm here, I might as well finish this raid and get a bunch of extra totems as well. And there we go, that is the raid 1. And I've been able to get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 totems in the process. Not to mention, wait, is that a stack of emeralds? I did not realize that you got that much from raids. But now that I've got all of these totems, let's get back to work on the carrot, potato, and wheat farm. And because I've already got all of the villages up there, and it's literally going to be built out of glass, which I've got a bunch of, I think we can get straight into building it, and I think I'm going to build it around here. And there it is. With that, I have got another 3 whole farms ticked off of my list. But I forgot that this type of farm doesn't actually work for wheat, so I'm only getting carrot and potatoes at the moment. But I'm pretty sure if you just add an allay in there and also a note block, then it'll start working. So I'll do that in the future. But now I want to move straight on to my next 2 farms, and that is going to be a melon and pumpkin farm. And I think I'd want to build it going this way in this old village here, except it's in the way, so... And there we go, all of the houses are now done. And after a decent amount of cleaning up in this area, I think I'm ready to build it. And here it is. Here you can see I've got the melon and pumpkin here, and I've also filled in this area of this wall with some stone, except it is pretty empty here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pathway going sort of like a zigzag leading all the way up there, and then I also think I'm going to put a tower here where I have marked it out. And here it is. Now I've got this tower and this pathway here. I was hoping to make it a bit thick, except I really can't be bothered to redo it all again. And it doesn't look completely horrible, except for this tower I haven't added the beacon in just yet because I actually don't have enough blocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to AFK at the iron farm I have got over there, and then I will hopefully be able to have enough to put into this tower. And now I want to move on to the next farm, which is going to be super quick to build because it is going to be a stone farm. And if you've been here for a while, then you might know that I have got a stone farm down here under my town, except it's really inconvenient being down here, so that if I want to use it I need to come all the way here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it above ground, and I'm also going to put it in a building, just like everything else I've done so far. And here it is. Here I've just got this building here with a few stone piles to the side to fill in this area and show that it is a stone farm. And if you come in here, you can go down here and mine up all of this stone. And if you press F3T, when it reloads the textures, it will be mining automatically for you, so you can go AFK. Except to collect it, you just walk along here and you've got access to all of these chests. And I just want to take a moment to admire all of the work I've done so far, because before this video, all of this area was completely not here. I've built so much of this area and it fits with my town so nicely. But now let's move on to the next farm, which is going to be an automatic wood farm. This isn't going to be one using TNT, this is just going to be one where you AFK holding the left and right mouse button, because at the moment I don't really want to dupe TNT, it feels a bit too cheaty. But what that does mean is that I can once again put it in a building. And I think I'm going to put the tree farm right about here because it is just enough space for it, and it's also pretty close to what I've done previously. And here it is. So now if I go in here and flip this, put my chest plate on first, and I can put these in my offhand. So now if I hold this, it will do that and continuously replant it as long as I have got one. Except obviously I don't really have that many saplings, so that is something I'm going to have to deal with. Except it is okay because I will hopefully get a fortune hoe, which will fix that. And obviously it only gets me stripped logs, but that is also okay because this is mainly just for getting me chests and that sort of stuff. But for the next farm, I'm going to need to head down to the mine shaft I made in my last video. And that is because I want to make a spider spawner as my next farm, and there was conveniently one right down this way where I was mining. And after finding the spider spawner, I went on to build the farm, except I had to build it a bit differently because it was right on the edge of my elevator shaft, and because I didn't want to disrupt it, it had to be cut off in half. And although it's definitely not the best spider farm to ever be made, it does work. But with that spider farm, there is only one farm left that I want to build in this video, and that is going to be a shulker farm. And to build it, I'm going to need to get a shulker to the overworld, which is of course going to take a lot of rails. Now I'm not sure if this will be enough. I'm assuming this is about 500 blocks or so, but if I remember from when I did beat the Ender Dragon, there was an end city right next to the end gateway, which I think is about 500 blocks away, so this should be enough. But just to be safe, I'm going to grab some more iron from my iron farm so that I can craft some more rails. But I'm going to need a decent amount of blocks to place all of the rails on, and I've got an absurdly insane amount of netherrack, which I think I can use. And that is only one more thing that I want to collect. And that is a furnace Minecraft, because I don't think I've got enough power rails for all of these rails I've got. So if I run out, then I want to use a furnace minecart to push the shulker. And now that I had all of the materials, I headed to the end and located the end city. So I think I'm going to start the minecart trail this way, and I can just bring them down in a boat. And you know what, for now I think I'm just going to use normal rails and the minecart with a furnace, because it's going to be a lot easier than alternating between powered rails and normal ones. And now that this railway leads all the way back to my main end island and to the portal, and it looks like I've activated an enderman. Let me just deal with that quickly. What I was trying to say is that now that I've got the railway done, I need to put buttons all around it so that when the shulker goes in, it doesn't just go back onto normal land and actually goes into the portal. And I think this should be good enough. I just realized that I need to build a part of the farm first before I actually put the shulker in the overworld, so let's go do that now. But as for I'm going to build the shulker farm, I think that building it over here is going to be quite nice because it is nice and open, and it is also semi away from those farms. And I've gone around my world collecting all of the materials I'm going to need, but I'm going to need a bit more glass and a wither rose. And if you remember all the way back to last episode, I fought 3 wizards here in the nether, except they went up way too high. But now they are back low down, so I think I'm going to try and use them to get all of the wither roses I'm going to need. But to get wither roses, you need a mob to die, and I'm going to use chickens for that. But I don't have any eggs currently, so I've got a solution for that. Yep, we are back at Stampy's house, which I built quite a while ago now. And I also built his chicken farm, which should hopefully have all the eggs I'm going to need. And here is a nice overview of the entire thing, except we're actually looking for the chicken farm, which is right down here, and oh yeah, it's got plenty of eggs. And now that I'm semi-close enough, I'm going to chuck my chest plate on so that I don't die. And I'm just going to spam these eggs down, and hopefully these withers can shoot these and kill them. Okay, there we go. We finally started to get a few wither skeletons. Okay, I think that's far enough. I'm backing out. But with that, the last material I'm going to need to build this shulker farm is a bunch of glass. So let's go mine up some sand. And after I smelted all of that sand, I combined it with some dye I got from the flower farm I built earlier to turn into a bunch of purple stained glass. But with that, I have got all of the materials I'm going to need to build this shulker farm. And there is the main area done, completely covered in buttons. But now that this is fully done, it is time to bring the shulker into the overworld. And I ended up spending over 6 hours trying to get a shulker into the overworld. And I can think of 2 words that can describe that experience pretty well.
Emotional damage.
Seriously? Dude, stop trying to kill yourself. They literally just died, wow. Why isn't it letting me place it? Oh my god, there are so many of them. You know, I really love shulkers, you know, they're really the best mob ever. Oh, and you thought I was just having trouble getting them in the minecart? Oh, no. I got that down after about 30 minutes, but they would not go in the end portal. No! Oh my god. I'm literally so close. Not what? Oh my god! It's fine, I'm not mad, I'm happy, you know, happy me. But eventually, and I put emphasis on the eventually, I got the shulker through. Why is it here? Oh, it's here! Oh my god. It only took about 6 hours, but you know, we did it. I'm going to surround it in glass, if I can, that is. But oh my, you guys do not understand how happy I am to see this guy in the overworld. Like, I've been trying for so long. I am still going to keep my backup armor on though, just because I still don't want these to hit me and end up killing it after all of this effort. And here I've made a little roller coaster so that I can get the shulker into the farm itself, and I don't think anything can go wrong. Well, I mean, the only thing that could go wrong is if an enderman takes one of those sand blocks and it makes the shulker move onto somewhere else, but I can still deal with that. So everything is set up, so all I should need to do is replace this with a rail and then super quickly send a minecart off. Go. Okay, they're in. Come on. Okay, they're going down. Yes, they're in. Oh my god. I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty mentally drained from getting this shulker into the overworld. So I'm just gonna build the rest of the farm in a time lapse. And there we go, the shulker farm is now finally done after much pain. And here you can see I've got the nether portion of it done, and here I've got the overworld portion of it done as well. So now I'm going to turn it on and go over here, and it should now be working. The shulker's gone. And for some reason it went into the nether here, so that's not ideal. I managed to get the shulker back into the farm, and I looked up a few different fixes that were in the comment section for the tutorial. And those were to put buttons all the way around this, and also to give them healing potions, because if they're under half health, there is a chance that the main shulker will teleport away. And now I've got all of these healing potions. I'm not actually going to put the buttons around there, because that one doesn't really make sense, because why would that make the shulker teleport? So I think just doing this is going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this, and I'm just going to do all of them because I want to be safe. If this doesn't work, then I don't think anything will. Let's go. It's actually working. Either I've literally got a 1 in a trillion chance, but it's actually working. It's working! Oh my god! You guys probably don't understand because this video has probably only been like 10 or 15 minutes so far, but I've been spending over a dozen hours doing this farm. And to see it finally work. Oh my god. But before I continue celebrating, I want to head over to the nether to make sure that I'm actually getting shulker shells. Okay, here it is, and I can see that are definitely a bunch of shulkers going through. There are the 2 backup shulkers waiting there. And oh, it's working. But with that shulker farm, I have officially built 15 farms inside of hardcore Minecraft, and it only took me about 30 hours or so. But now I'm going to go touch some grass while I AFK at this farm to get me all of the shulker shells I'm going to need for my next video. And that last thing I want to do in this video is kill some wizards, because in the last video I said that if that video got 10 likes, then I would kill 5 wizards underground at the same time. Sadly, he didn't do it, so instead I'm going to just go back to the nether roof and kill the 3 wizards that are already there from 2 videos ago, because they managed to come back down to the ground. To be honest, I probably should have brought all of my totems that I got earlier, but I mean, I can't really go back now. Okay, there. Oh wait, are they dead? Yes, okay, I got one. Oh no, no, I'm on 1.5 hearts, I'm on 1.5 hearts. Okay, there, they're on the second phase. Okay, no, I gotta get out of here, I gotta get out. Gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go. Oh my god, I'm gonna pop a totem, I think. Wait, am I actually? Oh my god. Oh my god. Come on. Wait, yes, okay. And now it's literally just this one wither left. Okay, killing one wither is easy. Come on. They're so low. Yes! Oh my gosh, finally. Oh. But now, 2 videos after I was supposed to do it, I killed 3 withers at the same time on the nether roof. And that is going to do us for today. So if you're new, then don't forget to like and subscribe. It would mean a ton and help me mentally recover from building that shulker farm. And I'll see you next time. Bye!